eating. In this, we have to think about what is a my plate. Susan, as I'm talking, can you just pull out this my plate picture? At the end of it, we can show that.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is already, so this is basically what, but we can add more. So plate method. So we start with a 9-inch dinner plate. Fill half of it with non-starchy vegetable, one with lean, 1/4 lean, and fill one with carb foods. Even in the carb food, you need to be very careful. This is what we call as a diet of 80-20. 80% of the time you are right. The 20% of the time also you make the right choice, right? And you can take a lot of curd and yogurt because they are naturally rich in probiotic. So the important funda here, the important thing when we tell people and our patients and all is that remember everything has carbs. Everything has carbs. If a vegetarian tells that I am eating dal every day, so even in that dal, it is a 2/3, 1/3, or 3/4, 1/4, depending upon the dal they are taking. The 3/4 and the 2/3 is the carbs. So major chunk is carbohydrate, and then less the lower portion is the protein. Then you have to choose water or low calorie drink to go with your meal. Water is still the best. Even the low calorie drink can go here and there higher. Portion size, very beautiful picture. This is, it says 1 palm of the hand without finger is the meat size. Fist is a cup of medium fruit. Then half an ounce of nuts or pretzel. Pretzel is not available in India, but nuts, and it's 1 tablespoon. 5 is that is a thumb tip. This is it. And then the fingertip is 1 teaspoon. So this is how you, so if you don't have the measuring cup, you know. So this is 3 ounce. Tip to base is cheese or meat. Fist is fruit. Cup is nuts. Thumb tip is tablespoon. Fingertip is teaspoon. I think this is something which we can actually print and give it to, or you can have it in your system. So quickly you can recall this and tell to your guests. DASH diet. It is something which we call as dietary approach to stop hypertension, because we want people to get used to a low salt diet. The low salt diet generally does not mean that whoever is hypertensive should eat low salt, because every gram salt decrease brings down the BP by 2 millimeter mercury, not too much. But over a period of time, those things add up and the blood pressure remains normal. Also, now this is a flip side here. Somebody develops hypertensive heart failure, and if they are not used to a low salt diet, it is going to be so criminally difficult for them to start a low salt diet when their heart has developed heart failure. Getting my point? So it is something like a training yourself to eat a low salt diet, so that one, you don't get into heart failure, and God forbid you actually get into heart failure, you're used to eating low salt, because then we cut down even more on that. So what does the dash represent? It represents grains, fruits, lean protein, legumes, nuts, seed. Like we told, fats and sweets are very limited, and low fat dairy. And this is how the composition should be. Even in the fruit, we have to tell what fruits not to take, when to take. People who are diabetic and who are on the obese side, very, very clear. You do not snack on fruit. मतलब क्या कि आप ब्रेकफास्ट और लंच के बीच में भूख लगता है तब कार्ब्स नहीं लेना चाहिए, तब आपने प्रोटीन लेना चाहिए. That is the funda for diabetic. How much protein? Will come to that. But you can, if you want to have a fruit, start your meal with a fruit, so that the balanced calorie you can make it up with fiber and protein. But if you eat the meal fully, which is again full of carbs, and then you eat a fruit at the end, you are actually adding a carbohydrate load to the already carbohydrate laden meal. I hope you understand what I'm saying. If you have doubt, we will discuss. Yeah. So DASH is based on the following food: fruits, vegetable, low fat milk, low grain, fish, poultry, beans, and nuts. Recommends reducing sodium foods, beverages with added sugar, and red meat. It's a heart friendly, and it limits saturated and trans fat while increasing the intake of potassium, magnesium, calcium, protein, and fiber nutrients believed to help control blood pressure. Yeah. What are the advantages? Brings down the blood pressure, heart becomes healthier because you are decreasing the risk of failure, weight management, yes. And disadvantages, everybody has to plan meal and it is less palatable. But then what is the odds ratio, that what is the risk, relative risk here, or if you don't do this, you are going to end up with a much worse condition where you won't even be able to eat this much. And you can always make these meals interesting by adding a lot of nuts to it. Mediterranean diet is a dietary pattern inspired by the traditional eating habits of populations in the Mediterranean, that is Greece, Italy, and southern Spain. These are people who basically eat a lot of lean meat. They are not like Americans who eat a lot of beef and mutton. They eat fish. They're big fish eater and they eat chicken. And usually their oil is also less because they don't garnish their food. And even the olive oil which they are supposed to use is raw olive oil. They don't cook the olive oil. So I went on a trip a couple of years back, and my daughter had a Italian friend, and I said, okay, I'll make pasta today. That horrified look on that fellow's face was like crazy. He said, ma'am, if I make pasta for you, you won't eat it. It is like that. Then but he made it, and it was really very interesting, very very delicious. No red color, no cheese like that, the way they eat and all, the way it is served in our restaurants. Remember something, in India, any adaptation of a meal, whether it is Italian or it is Chinese, is geared towards addressing our palate, not our health. I think this is something which we have to accept. Then we'll stop doing less Swiggy every day. So Mediterranean diet is characterized by a focus of whole nutrient dense food and a lifestyle that includes regular physical activity and social engagement. So this is the diet pyramid for the Mediterranean. So see, like I said, the meat and the sweet, which is, so tip of the pyramid is the thing which you eat least. Then poultry, egg, cheese, yogurt, seafood, fish and seafood, lot of green, lot of colors, and they will be all raw. They will be all there to see, and the seasoning is how कि ये fruit का juice ये meat में मिलता है, ये vegetable का जो salt है उसमें से naturally, so it will all mix together and stay and add. मेरे को सोचते सोचते भूख लगने लगा है अभी. We should not have a diet talk before lunch, Anusha. Very bad idea. Okay, I am sure. So, and then a lot of physical activity. Just look at this pyramid. Have you ever seen a pyramid which says the best way to keep healthy is to have a good physical activity and then only diet? Usually we talk about Indians, no? We talk about first let us do diet and then physical activity, which is also right. I'll tell you why it is right. Primarily plant-based eating plan that includes daily intake of whole grains, olive oil, fruit, vegetable, bean, and other legume, nuts, herbs, and spices. Animal proteins are eaten in smaller quantities, though